welcoming Marlene's daughter, Elaine, and her husband, Paul, and Marlene's son, Marty. We are so grateful for you being here with us today as we remember and honor your mom. I will start by sharing a few words about Marlene, and then we will open the floor for anyone who would like to say something. Afterward, everyone will have the opportunity to personally greet Elaine, Paul, and Marty. Marlene moved into the Summit on March of 2019, and from the moment she arrived, she quickly became a friend to many. She had a welcoming smile and a friendly hello for everyone she encountered. She had a way of making people feel comfortable and seen, whether they had known her for years or just met her. I personally enjoyed working with Marlene over the years. She was always positive, even when offering constructive criticism. And she did so with kindness, thoughtfulness, and genuine care for the community. Not only was Marlene a wonderful friend, she was also a passionate gardener and a talented baker. She loved, right? She loved sharing her homegrown garlic with others, and I know our drivers will especially miss her baked goods. Marlene made a point to show her appreciation by surprising them with treats every so often, and those gestures meant more than she probably realized. One memory I will never forget is from July 4th, 2021, when Marlene was in the hospital. I received a call on my cell phone from an unknown number while I was in the middle of a trail ride on my horse Stetson. I answered, and sure enough, it was Marlene calling me from the hospital, wanting to know exactly what she needed to do to get back home to the Summit. I'm still not quite sure how she got my personal phone number, but we worked through it together with her in the hospital and me on my horse, and she was able to return home that day. This was during the height of COVID, when many were working remotely except healthcare workers like us. After that phone conversation, I went to my boss, Susan, at the time, and I said, you know, I'd like to propose something. I'd like to work from my horse once a week. And that was a hard no. So I had to stick with Bring Your Horse to Work Day once a year. As an avid animal lover, Marlene was always there to greet the horses, offering them affection and joy whenever they visited. Those moments reflected who she was, warm, curious, and full of love. I would also like to take the time to thank Marlene for the time and dedication she gave us as a member of our resident council. She cared deeply about this community and was always willing to lend her voice, her ideas, and her time to make the Summit a better place for everyone. Now I would like to invite anyone who wishes to share a few words or a memory about Marlene. Nina?
I once said to her, I'm not going to sit on any committees. She said, yes, you are. You're going to sit next to me. And when I'd say something, or we had a discussion that she didn't know, she'd pick up her phone and she'd call her daughter. She used that phone like no one had ever known. She was the kindest, most loving, accepting woman. Very few people, I would say, that my very, very, very favorite person that I knew at the Summit.
Nice.
Thank you.
I want none of that.
Sue?
No, Marlene, when she moved in, I'm her next door neighbor, and we used to do puzzles together. She was the most wonderful puzzle maker. And she would run back in her apartment, get some cookies. She just baked. The whole room smelled like cookies. Then when she had problem with the mice in her house. She said they're marching in the front door. I said, no, they're not. She had a problem with a wall that was open, and there was mice coming through that. So we finally got that solved. She was the most wonderful friend and neighbor that I had.
Nadia and then
I love Marlene dearly, and we share with her our passionate love for animals, and I think I was only one she talked like for hours about her Elaine dog Moose and cat Squirrel, and she told me how they play with them, how much attention they give them. It was just amazing. She was like nobody else. It's just her family crazy about animals. I think that people who don't like animals, they don't understand them. They're crazy. And when she had mice, I offered her my cat, but she asked me, maybe you can bring. I said my cat would know what to do with them because probably he never saw them. But I was touched. my cat would be in service. I will miss Marlene dearly, just dearly. And I try some of her cookies. She likes to treat me with her cookies. When she bakes something new, I still have something. Actually, they're old, but they're still good. All right. So yeah, I would ask Elaine. Maybe I can give you my email and you will send me new pictures about your moose and squirrel. I would appreciate that.
Yeah. So one of the first things I remember coming to the summit was Marlene's laughter at night when she was playing cards with Gretchen and Nelson and various other people in the card room there. You could hear her laughing. And that's one of the strongest memories I have of her. But I wanted to talk about something else. I host a Wednesday night dinner table, and Marlene was there from the beginning. The people have changed now. It's Peggy and Pat and was Marlene and Barney and myself at the table. And because I don't, and even earlier, didn't see everybody during the week, I wanted to make sure they knew where we were eating and at what time. And because I'm a writer and I write poetry, I started sending my notices to everybody in little rhymes. Well, as time went on, nobody else had to do this. I said, it's just me, I'm going to do it this way. But as time went on, everybody else started writing poems. And of course, Marlene claimed she couldn't write poems, she couldn't do art, she always, said those kinds of things. But it wasn't right. I brought down one of Marlene's poems that she sent. It's from very recently. It's December 17th of 2025. Well, I just left my warm bed, had my coffee, and with that said, here's to another day of fun, come whatever may. Looking forward to a new dinner, I'm sure it'll be a winner. Spaghetti and meatballs are my choice for tonight. Stay away from the Chinese dish, you're better off having a knish. See you all at 5:30 in the grill, gotta go and take my pills. I will miss Marlene more than words can say.
Catherine, that was a hard act to follow. Because Marlene was so multi-talented, and it's almost hard to collect my thoughts about her. My name is Eleanor, and I led the art class that she joined, claiming that she had no talent, and pretty soon was experimenting with color and shape and line, and she made some of the most beautiful, beautiful paintings. I hope you've seen them. And do you have some of them?
We do.
Wonderful. Well, she also was such a big help to the council. She was secretary when no one else wanted to be secretary, and no one still wants to be secretary. And vice president, and just always a help, and such a good, good soul. When I think of Marlene, I just think of good and sweetness and smiles. She was unique, and she was very beloved here, as you can see. When you look around the room, it's wonderful to see everyone here thinking about her and what a delightful, wonderful person she was. Thank you.
Hi. Marlene was special to me. We worked together for 20 years at Pittsford School District. She was as special at Pittsford School District as she is here at the Summit. We relied upon her for many things, and we found that if she didn't know the answer to something, she simply called Siri. She did so many things and made so many friends. We will all miss her dearly because she can always be relied upon to be a very good friend to all of us.
You're right, we all miss her, you're right.
Is there anybody else? Anna and then Dolly?
I just want to mention that we got through COVID having something called the pod, where some of us met on the second floor of Building 1. I can't remember if it was 4:30 to 5:30 every day. We shared some holiday meals. We shared some other meals. We shared jokes, the news of the day, the gossip of the day. It was wonderful, and Marlene would always bake. Nelson would bake. We just had a good time, and I remember her from that, and I remember her from swimming. There were 4 of us in particular who were always in the pool, and I think I'm the only one left.
From that
So
group.
very sad from that group, yes. But I will remember her fondly for all the time I spent with her.
I will never forget Marlene. I came home from the hospital and I found this note by my door. Love to you, my Dolly. Here's a little package of love for you. The leaves are homemade and the cheese is all homemade. I made it for you with love.
Is there anybody else? Rose?
Thank you. Well, one of the things that we shared, love of rhubarb. We did like rhubarb. Of course, she was more productive. She did a lot with rhubarb. But it turns out we also had Brooklyn in common. I was a dietitian at the old hospital, Jewish hospital in Brooklyn. And I think she told me one of her kids was born there. I'm not sure. I could exaggerate too. But this is a woman that had wonderful stories to tell. when she'd tell me about Shone Place and how much it meant to her and her husband and her kids. I can't really say the words that I want to, but I remember she fell once. I can't remember. It seemed that she was carrying 3 pillows at one time. So I had to sit her down and I had to explain to her the facts of life. That pillows are for sleeping on, not for carrying around. So I'm glad I got to know her. She was a wonderful lady.
Phyllis?
The word no was not in Marlene's vocabulary. No matter what I ever asked her to do, she was the first one to volunteer, and she was the best helper anyone could ever have, with all her heart.
Hi, my name is Elise, and we knew Marlene with our Saturday euchre group, and there we would hear the most exciting things about the progression of your new beautiful home that's going up on Canandaigua Way. I know, she just loved to tell the stories there of Moose and Moose's adventures. And I have to add, even the deer here in our vegetable gardens loved Marlene's garden. She went out one day and all the garlic was gone. Guess who the culprits were? I just want to, what I think of is all the love that you've shared here, that you all feel. It's going to be passed down here generation to generation. And you're going to have wonderful memories as you go on. It's just all a part of you in Canandaigua, wherever you are.
Anybody else?
I think our family would just like to say thank you to everybody for being here today. Mom never failed to tell us how much it meant to her to live here. She went from being alone in a house when Dad passed away and being very lonely, and coming here and meeting so many new friends or seeing longtime friends. Everyone here meant the world to her, and not just the residents, but all of the staff. I think every day when I talked to her, I heard the most heartwarming stories about the kindness that people showed to one another, and just how thoughtful and pleasant everybody was, and what a family-like environment this was. But we just want to say thank you to everybody. It means so much to hear all that you have to share. We have a lot of wonderful memories, and it's going to get us through these difficult days. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. You could just feel the love by just looking at you, feeling it from your stories. Thank you for coming, sharing with the family your side of the stories versus her side of the stories. Now they get to hear your side of the stories about their mom. We're going to conclude this. Please help yourself to snacks, and you'll have the time to meet Marlene's family. Thank you.